All right, FHF AC cooling on the heat.
It's been so long, man, since I've been here. Welcome back. Good to see y'all.
All right, we back for another pod today. We got a interesting personality coming in.
Absolutely.
I like to say. Hopefully this person can talk about his experience as a high school coach and mentoring the young athletes in sports.
Yeah, a lot of us watching have been involved in sports, so maybe y'all can get some insights y'all didn't previously think of.
I mean, I think me and Desmond have a little experience from high school sports and coaches, and our guest too as well. His name is Sammy.
Come on in. That's the real clap.
Yeah, we don't got the sound for today.
Thanks for having me on, boys.
Yeah, absolutely. Welcome
Thanks
in.
for coming in, Coach.
Hey, put me in, Coach. All right.
Put me in.
Put me in, Coach.
All right. You mind giving a little about yourself, Sammy, to the audiences?
Yeah, my name's Sam Sliga. I coach high school lacrosse. I'm assistant high school lacrosse coach and assistant high school football coach. Me and Augie work together.
And Thomas, too.
And Thomas, Thomas
In the
too.
past.
Yeah, in the background here, yeah. Can't forget
Restaurant.
Thomas. And yeah, man, at Shortcrest High School. Just a little couple miles north up here, but yeah.
Oh, Shortcrest. Where's that?
Shoreline, like in between Linwood and North Seattle.
Okay.
So.
I don't know my area as well. You said that.
It's Ingram and Aurora, like in that
On the other side.
Yeah, on the
over
other
there.
side.
Okay, I probably
But
passed it.
it's close to Ingram in a way.
You probably passed it then for sure.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
how did
intro.
you get into sports yourself as a athlete you were back in the days too?
So my dad's really into sports. He coached me on like flag football, basketball, t-ball, soccer when I was a kid. They put me in when I was like 3 years old.
Yeah.
Soccer, and kind of started from there. I just grew to love playing sports. It's where I felt like my home on the field or on the court or anything, and just fell in love with it. And then after I graduated high school, playing football, rec basketball, lacrosse, ran track. I was like a year or two, and then one of my coaches, my lacrosse coach from high school, asked me if I would come volunteer and help out at a practice or two. It was like right before COVID hit.
Right.
And then pretty much just kind of just went with it right all I loved it, and I fell in love with the guys and hanging out with them, and put my arm around them, helping out. And
How did you get into football coaching?
well, I knew that the high school was looking for some coaches. It was the same high school coach that had been there for like 15 years, was my coach. And I was coaching a JV lacrosse game, and before the game there was a track practice at the same field, and he saw me and asked if I would come out and help him out in the spring and for fall, and I was like, yeah, for sure, why not?
Okay.
And pretty much went in last year just kind of saying I was thinking I was gonna have like a small role, not use my voice very much, and pretty much turned into helping out a lot, using my voice a lot with the JV and C team guys. So yeah.
Which sports were you like getting into the most, and when you were an athlete? Yeah.
I'd say football, of course.
By the way, I saw his highlights.
Yeah.
I give props to
You go
him.
off, you fire?
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I assumed wrong about Sammy. I'm
Really?
gonna admit this, but when I saw his highlights, I was like,
What'd you think? I was a bum? You think I was a little
yeah.
scrub
I
right there?
honestly, I thought this guy was just running around the field. But when I saw his plays, they're
Okay. So
I was like, okay.
he ain't that one uncle. You know I could have been professional.
He definitely could have played for college.
Okay.
Yeah,
So he got-
I felt like I probably had the talent to go play probably D2 or D3 ball.
Yeah,
if I
no,
if I
for
wanted
sure.
to,
Okay.
I definitely saw his highlights.
but I'm also trying. I try not to be the guy that's like, well, back when I was playing.
Yeah.
you know,
See what I'm saying? What I'm saying is always that
I
one
wanna
uncle.
tell these
If
guys
it wasn't for that bum knee, I'll tell you.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want to be that guy. But at the same time, it's tough when you're if I'm coaching and like I'm looking to have high expectations for these guys because when I was on the field, right, I was never backing down from anything, right. I always wanted to step up to the occasion, and then you get these kids who get nervous or let's say they just don't have the drive, and it's tough because I have the drive in me still to be an athlete and just want to go
Yeah.
out there and show them, like, oh, no, this is how you're supposed to do it and all that.
Were you the Kobe of your time?
It's Kobe on the field.
The Mamba mentality, the
No,
stride.
I actually didn't. I wasn't that. I mean, like I was locked in, but I had a great time on the field all the time.
just
I
love the
was
sport.
allowed. Yeah, I loved the sport and I always having fun. But like when it was time to lock in and do what needed to be done, I
What about
felt like I
football?
did my part.
What about football that you just made it something that you love?
I mean, just like I grew up watching NFL in college and all that, and like actually even at the high school up there at Shorecrest, my dad started taking me to games to watch the high schoolers play, and like when I was like 3 years old, and so like when I was a kid, I was running up and down the stairs at the stadium that I eventually played in and all that, and it was like a dream of mine when I was a kid to go play for that high school and be on the field. And so my parents wouldn't let me play tackle or peewee until it was offered as a school sport. So then in 8th grade, I went and played for the middle school. We were terrible. We didn't win a game. We got our butts whooped.
Wait, the middle school had a football program?
Yeah, we have like 8th grade team.
Interesting.
Did you guys have middle schools not have them?
So for our middle school, we had to join like an off
The
team.
rec
Yeah, it would be like
team,
like
Yeah,
a
the
peewee.
rec team.
off
Yeah,
rec. Yeah.
I don't know. Like Lake City have a football team, but I forgot what it was called.
Yeah, they. I know Lake City did,
But it was not with a school though. It was like
no.
an off program.
Yeah, a
You
lot.
first went to school, but
A lot. We had a couple guys who played for Lake City.
Yeah.
who played for the high school, and then.
Because I know kids that play for Lake City, but I didn't know that was like an actual football program or not.
From the school.
I know it was tackled for sure though, because they're wearing like the equipment and stuff like that.
Yeah, I don't know. Right now with Pee Wee, it's kind of for at least up north. It's
That's all flag.
yeah, it's mostly flag. They don't really have too many tackle.
Yeah.
Pee Wee's for like
programs.
toddlers though, right? Not for the.
Yeah. Pee Wee goes from it's like I don't know what grade it started in, but I know it goes up. It was at least when I was that age because I wanted to play. It was like up until like 8th grade.
Oh, all the way to 8th grade.
Yeah, all the way up to
Okay.
8th grade, and then you had like size like classes type of thing.
Yeah.
So you would if you were like, let's say, a really small 8th grader, right? There wouldn't be a small 8th grade team like the 120 pounds would be the limit, I guess you could say. I don't know.
That,
I didn't know that.
that's different now
Yeah, I
though,
didn't know
because no, it's different now because I see my brother playing flag football. They have different. Now they just do it by the grades and the age.
Not
now.
the size?
Not by the size.
Well, I didn't even do it size before either.
because they're doing the flag.
Yeah.
They're not
yeah,
tackling
yeah,
each other.
yeah. Okay.
I played flag, I think for like 5 years too. Growing
Yeah.
up, like that's what my dad that's how I fell in love with it. And I was pretty damn good at flag football, and then that's what my dad was like. Okay, you could actually go play
Yeah.
tackle because you actually have this like
The skill
without
set.
without
And
the
the
hitting
motivation.
yet. You had the
Yeah.
skill set, and so that'll come with time and size.
But speaking about what Sam was saying, the different age group, like I think I seen middle school play. They're
Right,
just
yeah.
playing flag. They're not playing tackle or anything like that.
Problem nowadays is the parents are worried about putting their kids because all the CTE and concussion
Yeah.
things, right? Like why
Well,
would
there's
I?
been more research, right,
Yeah,
about that.
why would I put my kid at taking all these shots to the head from 4th grade to 8th grade when they could just start in 8th grade or high school?
And that's not
But okay, as a coach, for development wise, do you think for kids does that slow down their development? Actually, like playing in the field tackled, then like
Absolutely, 100%. We see it. We talk about it as coaches. Like
Yeah.
it's not.
it's
just,
not the same.
It's not the same, and it's tough because you go, especially because we play a lot of teams from up north.
The flag football rules are different too, right?
Well, yeah, but like flag football, you can get like good receivers and good running backs.
That's true.
From that,
Yeah.
But
But
and
like
even
defensive
quarterbacks,
wise though,
defensively tackling is you have to develop that from like
Yeah.
freshman year right away.
because
or soon as they start.
you're taking away the flags. Now you gotta actually like use your physical
Yeah.
like hands and bodies to
Now,
actually,
what flag does help with is like angles and like tracking a guy's hip
Yeah.
because they are on the hip, so you do have to take an angle to try to get to the hip. So that does help a little bit there, but you still need the practice of
and
wrapping
playing like
somebody
man
up.
coverage too, right? In a
Yeah,
way.
well, yeah, coverages and all that. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I'd say that the big miss though is like what like it takes a hit from kids not playing young is the lines, like the offensive line and defensive line, because they don't know positioning, they don't know how to get down. They come in freshman year, let's say they haven't played ever, and then you teach them how to get in the right proper stance. You have to teach them where to put their hands when they're trying to block, the angles they're taking on when they're going to block somebody. But so it's tough.
Yeah, because when I watch my brother play his games, or the other kids that are on the same field, they don't have a lineman. The only lineman they have is a center. Yeah. And even the center, they don't really block.
They don't block it
because they can't get the QB right.
No, I don't think you.
Yeah, you can't get the QB. So all they really do is just they run, and then they're kind of like a receiver at that point.
Yeah.
Too.
Do they have a timer for how long it has to take the ball to get out, or is it
I think so. Yeah, they have a timer, but now I see that. So for flag football, the center they just hike the ball and move out and just become a receiver.
Yeah.
I wonder how has that changed like the mentality, because a big part of football is just being tough.
Being
somewhat greedy.
But also I feel like offensively though that would change the kids too, because they haven't been tackled before. They get the first impact of hit.
That's taking a blick to the chops. Is something. It comes with the territory that like.
I feel like they'll throw some trauma or something during the first hit or something.
I kind of got lucky because I played lacrosse growing up.
Yeah.
So I was already taking hits as a kid. Not the same type of hits where I'm getting brought down to the ground completely, but still. Getting hit in the arms a lot,
But you're getting used to them.
I got used to the physicality of things, and especially I'm not the biggest guy. That was helpful because I learned how to take a hit, get right back up, and keep going.
Yeah.
And if you don't experience that till your first, game, a freshman year or something, then it takes it's gonna take a little bit of time to get used to that, and so yeah.
Because to be honest, so my sport was mainly basketball.
Yeah, exactly.
And then when I played I think we played tackle without any equipment in middle school.
Yeah.
Recess or just
just after, because at recess they don't allow it, but after school you can do it, right? And then after school I played football.
Yeah.
I was so scared.
Oh yeah.
I'm not gonna lie. I was scared to hit. Yeah. I had a chance to catch the ball, but I was like, there's a guy on my ass right now. I was like, I don't want to catch the ball right now. So I dropped it on purpose so not to get hit.
Yeah, I can say I've done that before.
In basketball, I mean, there's some physical, but it's not as physical as football.
You don't got someone
lacrosse.
sprinting as fast as they can, trying to spear your ass.
Kill you.
At the max, you're gonna have an elbow drove into you. That's it. That's really
the most I get is elbow or the fucking back. Bumping into you.
That's only really if you're powerful.
Forearm.
That's really if you're a power for a center. Even then, it's like,
it's not. It doesn't. Yeah, it's not the same. But playing. There's always that one guy that's like, oh, we should play tackle, and everybody's like, oh yeah, we should play tackle. Yeah, no pads, tackle, and then somebody gets hurt or something like that.
The only time I played football was tackled and two-hand touch.
Two-hand touch is always great. Yeah, it's a good safe go-to. But yeah. So you play basketball too?
Yeah, basketball.
We played in Ingram freshman year.
Nice.
I played
so speaking about coaches, that coaching staff was a harsh ass coaching staff.
Were they hard on you guys?
Yeah,
they wanted us to go pro.
I came in expecting. I came in expecting fucking community center rec ball basketball, pass the ball to each other, make a layup.
Now you say it tough. Are you saying because they were yelling at you guys?
No, they were straight yelling at you.
No, if you made a mistake,
they'll throw you on the ground too. Remember that? They had a football pad and they were throwing kids on the ground.
They were fooling on. I liked it. Isn't that?
But I was just like, oh wait, what's going on?
But I liked it. I didn't expect it. It got me
but our coach, the JVC coach, was the chillest coach compared to the other two coaches.
Yeah. Wait, no, wasn't it the JVC coach that was the?
No, that was our coach.
Didn't they change it though?
No, they didn't. So there was a fat. Not a fat chubby guy.
Black
he was the JV coach.
I swear it got switched, but I may be thinking of a different school. Okay, yeah.
That might be a different school.
I remember the varsity coach, he was going crazy. And it has all in the same court doing the suicides, and they would be on us like, bro, we just got here 1 month ago. So,
instead of basketball, passing each other, we're passing medicines balls to each other.
Yeah,
I was not used to that because
I don't hate that.
I was I was not prepared because I was skinny as fuck. I was like, I wasn't that.
That's why they were doing it. Is they had a bunch of skinny freshmen on that team. They wanted to
get no, but I think the way they came in though, like the first was like really hard.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Like the first day they were like,
the first day was suicide.
I feel like they could have just eased in a little bit, and then like this.
So
I didn't mind too much.
So part of I feel like as a coach, like for our first day, it's tough because you want the guys just to have fun. And, But at the same time, you're like, we want to get stuff done. We want to set the tone.
No, I definitely get that. I just feel like they should be like, hey, this is how we want our basketball team. Like how we want this to be structured and shit like that.
So,
but they kind of just went straight into it, and then we like it was kind of weird because
there wasn't there wasn't any real like.
Because you gotta understand, some of these kids coming in, they don't know.
Yeah, they weren't even like full on basketball.
They thought it's some like rec shit and all that shit.
Gotcha.
And I feel like the coach explaining like how like the structure and stuff like that. I think I would have been like, okay, this is their mentality. This is where my mentality would be.
Gotcha.
When they kind of just like force you in a situation, you're like, wait, I don't know where I'm at.
Because basically, talent wise, we basically had we have ranges from kids that are like absolutely D1 prone down to like kids who play basketball once a month on a team, right?
Yeah.
But we're all getting treated like we're all going to be D1. You know? So it was cool for people like me and Augustine who love basketball, but for the other average dude,
the guy who's just like, oh, my buddies are trying out, I'll try out too, and then he tries out, makes a team, and then he's like, wait, what did I just walk into?
Yeah, he got whooped. Yeah.
I think I saw I think we had a kid that didn't even know the rules for basketball.
I remember probably though, because you remember like there was actually like a few kids. That
so actually I remember a kid cried.
You know what's funny? I think I don't remember it, but I was gonna say
like I think JV. I think a kid cried or something like that because of the coach.
I don't know.
I know that's the worst, by the way. Is if you're coaching and like you like, let's say
they didn't care.
Yeah,
they didn't care. No, what I saw was physically the coach pushed the fucking kid down.
Yeah, okay,
and then
that's different.
No, and the kid got hurt, and the kid started crying.
He's basically like, get up. This is the team.
And he's like, get up.
Yeah, this is the team.
This is part of it.
Yeah.
Okay, that's a little too much.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like there wasn't a balance of like.
No.
Once you're like. I don't, never gonna put my hands on a kid to like do anything
nowadays.
Like that. I can't. I'm not gonna do that. I mean,
I feel like the kids nowadays are different from the kids.
Nowadays
you can get away with it a little bit, maybe more back in the day, but now it's a little bit.
I feel like parents are more hands on.
Yeah, you put your hand on the kid's shoulders just like that.
Oh yeah, if I put my hand, like if I push a kid to the ground, right, then I'm gonna be gone. I'll get fired, or not, right? I won't be able to be a coach, but I was trying to say, like when you yell at a kid or you're trying to discipline a kid, and you can see that they like, that's all of a sudden they're like in their eyes are like you lost them right there. That's the worst, right? And I luckily haven't really done that. The times I've come close to it, I make sure to like chill, take a second. Give him a couple minutes and then go put my arm around him and like, hey, listen, man.
Well, I feel like
I'm not trying to be that guy where it's like, yes, we're here to get stuff done. Like that's what I want you to. I'm trying to develop you so you can be better, so you can get on the field and be successful. But at the same time, I'm not here to be an asshole the whole time. Now there's times I have to be an asshole because I have to hold,
which is understandable.
Yeah, I think you do have to.
You gotta hold them accountable.
I'll hold the line, but at the same time, I also want to be known as a fun show coach.
Yeah.
And which honestly, like this year, one of the first practices for lacrosse that there was like a new, I think his senior camp. He was a senior. But it was his first year ever playing lacrosse. He was just coming out for the year to enjoy and learn the game because all his buddies were. Mm-hmm. And one of his buddies one of the guys on the team who had started the year before, came up and introduced him to me. And then as he was walking away, I heard him say, "Yeah, he's the chillest coach. He's the nice one. You can go talk to him about whatever." And
that's gotta feel good.
That made me feel good, right?
I mean,
I'm the young coach on that coaching staff, and like I played with a couple of those guys' older brothers, and so like it's it's easy for me to be the guy they can come talk to. I can joke around about things that other coaches can't joke around about, right? You know, I could make references to like stuff on social media and like jokes like that, and like
AKA like sketch. What's up, brother?
They score a goal and then they come to like, "What's up, brother?" And they're like, oh, they all start dying right with it. But yeah, so it's awesome being able to be the coach that's chill and nice, and everybody can come talk to and joke around with. But at the same time, I have a limit. Like if we're not getting stuff done in practice, and I start getting upset, I feel like the guys kind of see that and they're like, all right, we need extra.
Well, I think when it comes to coaching, I feel like there should be a compromise, right?
Yeah,
there should be
balance.
like obviously, yeah, you shouldn't make a kid like feel shitty about themselves.
Yeah.
And like push them to the ground and be like, yeah, this is how it is. This is how it is. Get your shit back up right now and start balling again. I feel like there should be structure, and you know, they hold the kids accountable for their mistakes and what they need to do better on the field and shit like that on the court.
Absolutely, yeah.
But also, you know, just like you just being chill.
Yeah, like you found a good balance. You know, if they're comfortable enough to come to you with those just the fun questions and then the small stuff, but they still know not to disappoint you. Yeah. You found a good balance.
Yeah, and I'll say that's great when they come around, joke around me, and when I have questions about the sport. Actually, they come to me like. You know, and like wanting to learn, like that's awesome and that's great. What? But being a coach of my age, of like, you know, I'm 23 and these guys are all either 18 to like 15 right now. They come up and ask me questions about like just normal high schooler issues, like you know, they might not have like an older brother or something to come ask about. Or
that's
like,
respect though.
That's awesome. That's the best part, is being able to be like, you know, like a real life issue.
Able to like bond and connect.
Yeah, you can really become a mentor.
Yeah. There's
not
been,
just
there's
a
been
coach,
stuff
like
though. Every once in a while I get asked about it. I'm like, I don't know, brother. Yeah, I don't know about that one. And then after the guy, just but.
Get back on the field.
Get back on the field. You know what?
We'll try to talk about that one after practice.
That's the one. Come back with me after the practice. Yeah.
But what you're talking about, like, yelling at a kid and pushing him down, like, I feel like not only that, like, you kind of lose the kid's respect too in a way.
Yeah,
like the student athlete.
Because they're looking up to you. From in my opinion, I'm not like, you know. Coaches are let's say father figures sometimes, right? But like I'm not father figure. I'm 5 years older than these guys, but like an older brother figure, right?
Father figure,
but like you're trying to develop these, like in today's we say you try and develop these guys not only on the field but like off the field, like to become better people and better men and whatnot. But and so they need to hear tough love, because the world isn't always sunshine and rainbows out there, right? You gotta get knocked down when you don't know, or you could be in a position where you might not be in the most comfortable situation. You have to figure out how to deal with that. You might
have to deal with assholes too.
You might have to deal with an asshole like me every once in a while, you know, like
me.
Yeah. You know, where you're just like, your manager at work, or or somebody on the street might say something to you that you might know, and you might need to figure out how to like deal with it without like it ruining your day, for example. And so
It's good. That's a good answer.
I just think that like I think it's great for student athletes to have that that balance too, not just coaches, like just like
between the mentorship or like the
knowing the tough love, like also staying like intact with like the game, but knowing that like you're playing a sport too. You should take it, play for fun. Also like. Don't waste the coach's time. Take it a bit seriously too. You know what I mean?
I mean, if you're not having fun, right? Like, why you're here? But like, and that's tough sometimes for me. For like guys, like we're just on a normal day.
Some of these kids,
they really
like back in high school, when I wasn't playing sports during this time. Like I had a lot of friends that were playing sports. They're like, oh, I have practice the next day. Or I have this game. Like,
they really didn't want to do it.
Like, it sounds like they didn't really want to be there. I'm just like, why are you playing it then?
So I was very not much like that. Where I'm like, my parents would be like, let's say I like wanted to stay home from school or something, right? They'd be like, okay, well, then you can't go to practice tonight or right now, right? You can't do this. You can't go. Then all right, you can't play in the game tomorrow, right? Yeah. I'll be like, never mind, I'm going to school.
Actually, I'm not sick. When I get back,
I'm fine. I'll get through it, because just. I enjoyed it so much. Like that was fun. That was my fun part of the day, is going to, go football practice, even though if it might suck. We might be in the rain, and we might be running all over the place, and I'll get soaked and be freezing and shivering, but it doesn't matter because
it's a sport.
I'm having fun. That's what I want to go do. You know.
Yeah.
You know the only time a coach ever yelled at me was, remember I got dunked on by a Garfield kid in JVC. JVC. This guy dunked on me, and then I was.
In game?
In game. I was supposed to.
It was freshmen.
Yeah, the coach
was
was
not
like,
freshmen. They were not.
Yeah, they were not freshmen.
But
the coach got so mad. He's like, "Why don't you take a charge? Like you should take a charge.
Bro.
Like screen and take a charge." And I was like, "I'm so sorry. I didn't know what to do. I froze. I didn't know.
Nobody's tried to dunk on me before.
I was like, this is JVC. I didn't expect anyone to dunk.
Nobody's ever done that. Like the whole thing was too is that you had to have been a freshman on those teams, right? But we pull up with them and we seeing dudes with tattoos, dudes that are built out the wazoo with muscle. Or like,
I was like, I know for a fact we're not playing against freshmen.
And the dude that dunked on him, I remember he had a tattoo right here.
I was like, there's no way a freshman.
Was it C team or was it a JV team?
It was
JVC.
So I'll say that sometimes JVC can have like a sophomore, junior drop down. But
I was
the whole team.
It was just
the whole team.
It was just like I thought I'm gonna be competing with like kids coming in from like middle school, not like fucking.
We had 15,
have experience and shit like that.
We had 15, 16-year-olds, and there was no way one of them wasn't at
least
19.
There was no like 17 or 18-year-olds in our team.
You're right. Yeah, it was
just 15
freshmen.
to 16. Yeah, it was all freshmen.
But I'm telling you, that dude that dunked him, he was big,
bro. I thought he was a senior. I'm not gonna lie.
I don't even think he was a senior, bro. Like they had tattoos.
But that guy was like yatted too.
That's what I'm saying, bro. He looked like a full-on grown man, bro.
Going back to that, have you ever had a coach like get out of hands and touch you physically or yell at you?
I mean, I had not like nobody ever like physically did anything like to like discipline me, like nobody. I had good coaches.
What about
but
shouting?
Verbally. I mean, like I mean, but I was I got yelled at. I tried to hold me to a high expectation. I had coaches that like were tougher on me than others, and honestly, I didn't mind that. Yeah. I was used to tough coaching. I think I was actually probably played better when I got coached tough, and that's tough to balance because there's some kids who can take that, right? Who will like rise to the occasion when you yell at them and give them more.
And
like,
there's some kids
I need to
be like, fuck you, like don't talk to me like
and then
that.
there's some guys who are just they can't take that, and so there was a couple coaches I'm thinking on top of my head that like, they got into me, and and the other guys that tried to get into the same way, but those guys were not. They didn't have the same mentality. They were like, fuck this guy, I don't want to deal with him. But then I'm like, oh crap, he's yelling at me. I gotta actually show up and work harder. And so. But nobody ever like verbally abused me, like where you're like they like made me feel like a shitty person, like I was like wasn't worth anything. Nobody ever did that, and I never really saw that happen. I would say I think there was like one or two instances where it was kind of on the kid and like on the other guy, my teammate, kind of his fault for the reason why it happened, but it wasn't like they weren't like the coaches weren't in the complete wrong for doing it. For example, they just didn't react well. The kid didn't react well to it, but
that's fair.
Fair.
Yeah.
So it doesn't really happen.
And honestly, it doesn't happen that often. And when it does happen, normally there's a coach there to kind of chill everything. Like, hey man,
I feel like
it gets to that point.
I feel like there's some misconceptions about some coaches too. Because because people think like coaches are like verbally abusive sometimes. Like when it comes to like a stressful moment in the game,
I will say that is where if I ever come close to doing too much, it's in a game on the sideline.
How would you hold yourself accountable?
I've gotten way better at it. I think it just coming with time for me. When I started off coaching, especially lacrosse, my first year coaching lacrosse, I was like, there was just guys that I played with. They were like the guys that were freshmen when I was a seniors were still were like juniors, and like so the sophomores were still there too. that were sophomores when I was a senior, and so they were like the guys that I was the captain of the team, right? Yeah. And but they weren't very good that year. We didn't have that many. We didn't have it like we had like 1 or 2 seniors, and so we were getting our ass kicked a lot. And I'm on the sideline, you know, watching the guys that I used to lead and like help and try to win, right? And like we were winning a lot of games my senior year, like get their asses kicked, and I can't do anything except try to tell them what to do on the sideline. Yeah. And so I'm losing my mind because, like, for example, there's one play that still sticks in my mind. It was just we were playing Monroe, and this guy literally told the guy who was guarding him what he was going to do, and said he was going to score. And he's like, I'm going to fake like I'm going left, go right. Like he yelled it so like the whole field could hear. Fake like I'm going left, go right around you, shoot and score. And I was like, do not let him go to his right hand. Dude, just like sit on his right hand. Like I'm yelling that from the sideline, and the guy let him go to his right hand, and he shot and he scored. And like he's like celebrating, and I'm like just over there like losing my mind, right?
Yeah.
Like
you're like, I told you.
Yeah.
He told him to.
And he literally told you what you're gonna do. Why would you let him do that? Like if he scores any other way, then it's like you didn't do what you said you were.
I feel like at that point though, like in this situation for the athlete though, I feel like it was like a mind game.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that
because it's like, is he actually gonna do that, or is he gonna fucking like yank me and just fucking do something else? Like,
but you don't let him do, no matter what, you can't let him do
no,
what
that's
he said
fair.
he's going to do.
That's
I'm
fair.
sorry.
No, that is fair.
And shutting him off, man. It's not like it's
and in
the easiest.
In lacrosse, you do have help defense coming.
Yeah.
Like we have like you set a rotation up.
I'm not familiar with lacrosse, but were they doing like man-to-man or something?
So lacrosse is actually very, movement-wise, very similar to basketball.
Okay,
almost. Like, so you get beat, right? Then you get help coming from, like, the middle, right?
Yeah.
So we call it, like, right in front of the crease. The crease is the circle where the goal is. And let's say we're having a slide coming from the crease. If our guy gets beat up top, the crease guy slides, and now the guy who is guarding him has to recover back in, and like let's say the backside guy takes the crease guy to help out, so there's no easy dish. Now this guy has to recover back over to like take the guy. Yeah. So like this is just like same type of movements, and like you know if you get beat, somebody slides out to your guy, then you have to go recover and take his guy like in basketball. Okay. And so we can set it up to the point where like okay, we know that this guy's probably gonna beat you because it's all offense normally has the advantage in like any sport, right? And so
how many players are on field
on lacrosse?
Yeah,
you have 1 goalie, 3 defensemen, 3 attackmen, and 3 midfielders. Okay. And 10. Midfielders can go up either side of the field. Attack has to stay on the offensive half. Defense has to stay on the defensive half. And goalies, stays on defense half too. So you have to have 4 on defense at all times and 3 on offense at all times. So you could have a defense, the long poles are the defenders. Yeah. You can have them run up, like pick up the ball and run across the field. Just the one the midfielders now has to stay back on the defensive side of the ball, so there's no offsides. Lacrosse is insanely complicated to explain. I'm not gonna try to explain the whole thing.
It sounds like zone defense, zone offense.
Yeah, I mean, and then you just like got hockey, similar to hockey, where if you get a penalty, you have to go to the box, and then we're a man down.
Oh, okay.
And so then we have to play a true zone defense, and we're like, it's like we're literally playing like a 2-3 zone pretty much. We're in a box and one type thing where you have one guy in the middle and a box, and like you just hold try to stay with like inside as much as possible. You don't push out too much. Yeah. You'd rather have them shoot and our goalie try to make the saves from outside shots than them be able to get wide open shots in the middle because we can't play man to man when we're down a man. So, So lots of similarities to basketball and the movement wise and all that.
I have a question. So so it's pretty physical, I'm assuming. Yeah. So like, what age do kids usually start in lacrosse?
So I started as soon as it was offered in 3rd grade. Was when I started. And at that time,
is concussion and CTE pretty big on lacrosse, or what was it?
It's tough. Tougher to get those massive hits to the head at that age for the simple the kids aren't as fully developed yet, and it's not like football where you have to take a guy down every time, right? You can just hit a stick and use the ball, and they don't have great stick skills either, so they're dropping the ball and throwing it away anyways. And so the game isn't fast enough for really that to be an issue. I'd say about 7th, 8th grade. That's when you start to see it. You could see it start to be a little bit more of an issue, but again, you still got your helmet on, and you're not. They try to take away all helmet to helmet contact or stick to helmet contact. Anything to the head is illegal. It's a flag. So they do a good job of protecting,
the athletes.
Yeah, in high school it's different because you got. Like one of our defensemen is our middle linebacker of football, and he's just laying kids out, and.
But is there like the same what's it called? Like parents like worrying about like the football. Like, is it the same in like lacrosse?
Like, as prevalent.
Not as much, but I mean, still there, right? I think.
I would like to see like a less physical version of lacrosse.
What would that even be?
That would. Huh?
Water lacrosse. That'd be.
Water lacrosse.
Water lacrosse isn't that a thing?
Water polo.
You know,
am I thinking water polo?
Water polo. Water polo is like. Yeah, water polo is actually really physical.
Are you serious?
Oh yeah, those guys they pretty much like drown. They like try to like not actually drown each other, but they like push each other on the wall.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, water polo's not like.
Okay.
But you said water lacrosse.
I could have swore I seen
you
water
just made like a whole different sport.
No, I would have swore
That
I
would
saw
be
you
nuts
thing.
underwater with the stick.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here thinking like,
I
what?
feel like the movements in the water is slower too.
Oh yeah,
because-
that's what I'm saying. Maybe it could be
Water lacrosse would not be
possible.
Yeah, I don't think that would be too tough. Yeah. The other problem with lacrosse as a sport, in my opinion, is how expensive it is to play. Like that's why you don't see a wide variety. Like you see, it's like a rich white guy sport. Is what
I was gonna say that.
It's always been kind of a rich white guy sport. We're doing a better job nowadays of as a sport in general, as trying to spread out and like get as many kids in as possible from all different backgrounds.
I seen more races playing now, like other races.
Oh yeah,
playing. I've seen a lot of Asians getting into it too nowadays.
Dude, it's massive. I think it's Japan. I think it's massive. Like you could look it up on YouTube. It's massive now over there.
Japan has. I feel like Japan got into like all the sports. Like rugby is pretty big there now.
Soccer is big over there now.
Like football too.
Yeah,
football is big.
Like American football.
Which is awesome to see. Like you want to see these countries get other countries get good at these sports because then you can eventually maybe let's say 60 years down the line. Japan has like a really good football like league or something, right?
Now, and then we're competing like against like the Seahawks or something.
That'd be fun to see.
That's cool.
But lacrosse is getting big all over the place. A team that was really good. I don't know exactly what competition it was, but it was like something to do with like countries playing against each other. Was Jamaica? Jamaica got really good at lacrosse.
Really?
Jamaica.
And like. But mainly it was kids from the U.S. who were like had backgrounds from Jamaica. But they still like seeing that development. Like that wasn't there 10 years ago.
I'm actually very interested to see these low key sports get into pretty big, like worldwide, because it'll be fun to watch it like in the Olympics or something like basketball, for example, or something like that.
Yeah, lacrosse is now in the Olympics actually.
Is it?
They made it. They made it.
Is it the summer or spring? What sport is that?
It would be summer. It would not be a winter sport. No, it would be a summer sport. They made it though. It's not the same full 11 guy. 10 guys on the field. 10v10. I think they're doing sixes. So it's like no long poles, all short sticks. And it's super fast. So scores for like our games are like, let's say they can get up to like 15 to 13, let's say the score was, but you don't see it that often. You see more like 10 to like 7 games. These games were like 25 to 30 goals, and like that's fun to watch. You want to see offense, right? And so
I think I might be wrong, but I think I saw like Italy competing into like football, but like it was flag football with the U.S.
Yeah, there was a flag football like tournament thing.
Yeah, it was pretty interesting, but I don't want to see No offense, but I don't want to see flag football. I want to see tackle football.
So at that point, I'd rather watch like rugby or actual
football.
Yeah,
Rugby.
Mm-hmm. Rugby's fun to watch.
Oh yeah.
I've been telling myself I want to get into rugby, like watching the sport, but like.
Yeah. Ever since Charlie got like, I didn't even know rugby was a thing until I met Charlie, and ever since I learned about, I had huge respect for.
Rugby. He won national championship.
I didn't even know he was.
He got MVP.
Did he play down here?
Western.
A Western? Yeah. When I lived in Bellingham for about a year or two. After I graduated high school, so like a year, like right after COVID hit, I'd say like 6 months later, I moved up to Bellingham. And one of my buddies who was living up there, he played for the Western rugby team for a little bit, and he loved it. And he had never played rugby before that.
Yeah.
And he was like there was like a top team, and then it was like a B team. He was like on the B team run up, and he said it was awesome. He was like, you should come out and play, and I was like, I'm good. I know, because I just wasn't that interested in the sport. But now, after looking at it, I'm like, that would have been fun, man. That was some fun, yeah.
Well, the thing is that what was I gonna say? Rugby. Yeah, I didn't know rugby till I met Charlie too.
Yeah.
Like I didn't know rugby was a sport.
That's growing too.
And I didn't even know people play rugby in the U.S. because I thought that was in like Europe.
Yeah, you're right. Because it's like one that kind of looks like
it's a world sport. I don't think it's like the New Zealand and Australia are like.
I didn't even know we had a team in Seattle.
Oh, the Seawolves. The Seawolves,
yeah.
They're pretty good, yeah.
I didn't realize that until Charlie told me about the Seawolves.
Seawolves, cool. Yeah, I hear they're pretty good. Every once in a while they're on TV. Like I'll turn them on at the restaurant. I'll like just there's nothing else, and I'll turn them on because there's nothing else no other sport on. But yeah, I've heard that their games are kind of fun to go to. So
I don't know.
Might have to check it out sometime.
Yeah, no, I think I'm for sure.
We're gonna take a break here. I think it's a good time. Appreciate Sam coming in. Mm-hmm. We're gonna take a short little break.
Be right back.
Thanks, guys.
Welcome back.
All right, we back from break. Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
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 Wait, how's it going? What's up, brother? All right.
What's going on?
Special teams, special plays, special players.
All right.
We back with Sammy here, our high school coach, lacrosse/football. Mm-hmm. Have you ever thought about coaching like any other sports, like basketball? Because I know you're into basketball too.
Yeah, I actually was brought it up to some of the guys on the lacrosse team, and then this year, like some sophomores that like I thought could like use because I told you about the similarities of basketball and lacrosse. Yeah. And so I said to them, have you guys ever played basketball? And they were like, well, I just like shoot my friends, but nothing like crazy. I was like, okay,
wait, shoot my friends?
Shoot with my friends.
Okay.
Shoot some hoops with my friends.
Hold up.
No, I asked them, they said, would you guys be interested in like playing like a rec team? And they're like, well, I never, nobody's like, I don't know what team I play for. I was like, well, I've thought about coaching basketball this in the winter. My dad,
rec or college?
What?
I mean, sorry, for rec or high school?
Rec. Okay. I wouldn't.
I said college.
Yeah.
He's going straight to the NCAA.
Just skip everything. Just go straight there.
Who wants him right now?
Yeah. No, they they were interested in it. My dad coached me and all my friends from like first grade all the way up until we played all the way together, all until we graduated high school. In rec, and because we all played a bunch of different other sports. And rec is easy because it's like you practice once or twice maybe a week.
And you have like the weekend game.
And then you have one weekend game a week, and it doesn't take that much time of your day. You don't have to be too stressed about it. If you get blown out, you get blown out. Who cares, right? You're just having fun. But you also, if you
sign me up for assistant coach.
if you don't know about basketball, it's a good way to learn. Because basketball's a sport you could play like by yourself for like ever. Like you can go shoot hoops, right? Whenever you want.
Unlike football, you can't really do that.
Yeah, football you gotta have somebody else to throw the. You can't just throw the ball yourself. I mean, you can.
You can't just toss it up the air.
Yeah,
work on the higher like.
It's not the same as going to a court with a ball and just
like
shooting.
Dribbling and just shooting.
Yeah, and that's why basketball's so great because you can practice by yourself. But yeah, so. My dad coached not only me, like me and my friends all the way up through high school. He also, when he was about my age, he was coaching for his like church team because back east, like you have your high school team.
Yeah.
And then like you have like church teams, which is almost like select teams type thing, and they play other churches there because there's so many churches out there, and basketball's so big in upstate New York that like it was just like he was coaching guys like who were like freshmen, sophomore, and juniors, and like a couple of them went on to play high school ball for the high school, and then went to go play college ball and whatnot, right?
Yeah.
He just like he's been coaching basketball his entire life into sports and like that, and if there's a sport that I like probably was my first love was basketball, right? I grew up that being the sport. Me and my dad used to go. We still to this day have season tickets for UW basketball, and even when they're bad, we still go watch because we love just watching basketball and talking hoops.
Yeah.
And so I seriously have considered coaching basketball. Also thought about maybe if I have time in the spring, coaching, helping coach track. But the problem with all that is I don't want to overstack myself of like time wise because it is a time commitment.
How would you coach track? I because I'm not really familiar with like the aspects of like track, I guess.
Yeah. So
track and field.
It's mostly like keeping track of people's times.
Oh, okay.
How their the steps they take. Let's say.
But what advice would you coach them on? Like breathing techniques or something?
How they're getting off out of their blocks or on the relays. How many steps? Let's say they need to like because it's like you put a piece of tape down. And once that person hits, I ran the 4x1, right? And I was normally like the third leg, which is the second. I was the second leg. Sorry, he starts off on a curve, hand off to a straightaway curve, and then you have the anchor run the straightaway. Like Usain Bolt always runs the anchor. Let's say for Jamaica, he did right. And I'm the second. I'm the first straightaway. I was, and when the starter hit the piece of tape I put down, which was like I don't know how many steps. Let's say it was like 20 steps. I forget how many I used to have, but I start to go because it's slower to get out of the break than is a guy who's at full sprint, right? And so by the time you're at full speed, you want him to be like a step or two behind you, so he's still running full speed and he can hand the baton. Yeah, it's just in stride. You put your hand. He calls hand, or it's just nonverbal, and you put your hand back there and he hands the baton to you in stride. You don't want anything to go wrong, and then just you're gone, and you don't have to worry about slowing down for them or them slowing down for you. You just want it to be smooth.
Okay, like the smooth transition.
Yeah, and so that was like what our track coach, who was also the football coach, he like our 4x1 relay team for the guys was pretty good when I was there. And
does that football coach still coach track too?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's been football coach, the head coach there, I think, since 2009. I'm not sure.
Is he a teacher?
Yeah, he's
in the school.
PE teacher. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he played middle linebacker at Central.
Do you have to be a teacher to become a head coach?
It's just
or some type.
No,
I haven't seen it.
No,
I've seen it.
No, you don't. But at the same time,
is that what they
want?
It's
the best way. Yeah, it's the best way because then you can be on school property all the time.
Well, what's his name?
Make a development, develop.
What's the NBA player that was coaching Nathan Hale in Garfield?
Brandon Roy.
Yeah. How can I forget? The legend.
Mm-hmm.
He's not a teacher, right? Am I tripping?
I don't think so. No,
he's just a coach.
But he's just a basketball coach. I think it's a little bit different when you basketball versus football, because football you have like tryouts, and so you only have to have 10, 15 guys on the team, right? Versus like football, you want as many guys as you possibly can in the school to play football, right? We want as many people. We want
because it takes a lot of.
It takes a lot of guys, and you don't know. Injuries happen.
Yeah.
And
you need the reserves.
Yeah, and you want to have the more people we have that are bought into it, the more fun it is for everybody, right? And so.
And I feel like it's less work for some of the students, athlete, because they don't have to take on more positions they need to.
Yeah.
For their bodies and stuff like that.
Yeah. So like when I was a senior, I think we probably had about 55 guys on the varsity team, but like, you know, half of them also swung down to JV. But we had like probably at least 15 to 20 from each grade. And now we have probably about, you know, 45 guys to split between 40 guys to split between those two teams, which you say like 10, 15 guys, that's not much of a difference, but it really is, because like, you know, you don't know, you're missing probably 5 guys a day due to sickness, homework, personal stuff, right? Yeah. You know, and so if you're missing 5 guys, those 5 guys might be really important. If you don't have 5 other guys that are pretty good that can sub in, then you're like lose a day of good work at practice and whatnot. And yeah, so it is better for the coach to be a teacher. To be able to like make relationships with kids, tell them to come out. And,
that makes sense though, because when I was in Roosevelt, the teacher would always walk in the hallway, and I'd just be using the bathroom.
Sherlock?
No, it wasn't Sherlock. It was one of the coaches that moved to Hawaii. I forgot his name, but he was like, he asked me so many times to join football. I was like, oh, so are you going to join football? I was like, I don't know. So when are you going to join football? I was like, I don't know. Yeah, I'm working right now. He's like, you should stop working and join football. You're a kid. I'm like, I want the money. He's like, what do you need money for? I was like, just for personal use. Yeah. But that's
the classic coaches like trying to sway you.
He just would not stop leaving me alone about football. He's like, I mean, you have a great, I mean, we could still build you up, but you still have a great body for football. Yeah. I'm like, I don't know. I just gave him the same answer, but he just kept coming hard.
Yeah, Wait
a moment.
That's what that dang Frisbee coach was doing at the Ingram. I didn't know the first thing about Frisbee.
I remember.
Frisbee coach.
No, that Frisbee coach is on my ass too.
Yeah, you got good grip. I see you catch things. You should, bro. I never played Frisbee in my life, bro. Yeah.
That was hilarious. Yeah, that makes sense though about like how they recruit. They want to hire within the teachers.
Yeah, and then your point on like I was gonna say the tough part about being a coach is like, you know, if the kids at the school aren't buying in, then like, you know, there's not much you can do if everybody's like, oh, football, I don't want to play football. Football sucks.
Okay, but like, what if there's like a famous ass like NFL like former player comes in, like let's say Marshawn Lynch.
Let's say Marshawn Lynch
wants to coach.
I'm sure that you get more kids out there for sure.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But how many?
So it's like for example like Brandon Roy, like a famous NBA player just coming in. No school position, just a coach.
Yeah. Then you're gonna get more people buy in, but that doesn't happen often. And
what if it's like a profound, like famous ass, like college football coach just coming in to coach high school?
He wouldn't coach if he was professional. No,
but do you think kids would know that coach and actually join the football?
Yeah. I'm sure.
Word would get around so quick.
And you hear from like, you know, their dads or parents would let them know, like, hey,
it would be in the halls everywhere.
Yeah, exactly.
Because personally for me, if I don't know like anything about that player or like coach, I'd be like, I don't give a fuck.
It's. Yeah, so unless you're not famous or like a well-known athlete, right? Yeah. It's you know, you don't get the easy draw of kids coming in. Now I don't want to, you know, say it's all that, but part of it is
it's just
if
like
you have kids go playing pee-wee football, right? Growing up, like I didn't play pee-wee football, but I had probably about 10 guys that I played that were in my grade, maybe about 7 or 8 that were in my grade that had been playing since they were kids. Oh, now all of a sudden you have 7 or 8 guys who have been playing since they were like in the 5th, 4th grade, right? So they already have those 4 years of development, which is way easier to translate onto the high school field. They're gonna be able to get on faster and quicker than the guys who are just starting their freshman year. But now if you don't have that, then you just are trying to use the guys that are starting freshman year, which, you know, you get good athletes and they're trying, they get good, and you know, and not to say you have to start in Pee-wee football or before that, but it definitely helps, and that helps to draw more kids. Yeah, and if the more kids that you have experience, the better you are. The more kids that just want to join, right? And so
what made me motivated to keep playing sports was actually meeting famous athletes.
Yeah.
Well, because I got to meet Jamal Crawford.
Mm-hmm.
I got to meet DeJounte Murray.
DeJounte Murray.
Yeah. And then UW basketball camp.
Okay.
Yeah.
They brought them out, and then they
I'm guessing like Marquise Chris was there too.
I don't remember. And Marquise Chris might have been there.
Okay.
But I think he was still playing for UW.
Was Markel there?
It might be Markel. I don't know. No, Markel's too later in my time.
Markel was a sophomore. No, Markel was a freshman when DeJounte would have been a sophomore. So when DeJounte's rookie year,
I only went to UW basketball camp twice. But I don't want to brag or anything here. But I got to meet the famous WNBA player Kelsey Plum.
Kelsey Plum.
She was one of the camp counselor.
Nice.
She would always talk to Andrew. I remember that.
Andrew.
Yeah.
Andrew Andrews was awesome too. That's a dog.
And I remember talking to her, and then she just gave me like the weirdest face ever. And that was my memory of Kelsey Plum.
She probably was like, get away from me.
I didn't even know who she was. I thought she was just like a fucking basketball counselor. Yeah. I didn't know she was gonna become this huge WNBA
like the greatest UW basketball player of all girls, women's basketball player.
But it was so great to meet you, Kelsey Plum.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't know you were gonna be a huge prospect.
You don't remember the game.
Yeah. My bad for being a weirdo, guys.
What grade were you in though?
Shit, I don't remember.
Were you young though?
I was young.
You're a kid, I'm sure there was. You weren't the only kid.
I think I played with Marco Porter Jr.'s brother.
Was there?
Yeah.
The
youngest brother. The youngest one.
I think
the one in jail right now. Yeah. But not DeJounte, not the gambling person.
Not Jonte.
Jonte's a gambling person.
Jonte is one who's was he banned from the NBA for life? Is that what they said?
Yeah. Also, off topic though. Shame on you, Marco Porter Jr. I bought a ticket to watch you play at Roosevelt, and this guy was sitting on the bench just eating a sandwich.
Did you guys still lose?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But hey, no, but I bought a ticket to fucking watch
How much was it?
How much
was it though?
It was cheap, but like I was in high school. I didn't have that much money too. Yeah. But I was like, I never really went to any of the high school games.
Yeah. We definitely.
And then the one person I wanted to see that has prospect was fucking sitting on the bench eating a sandwich.
It's probably trying to take
then
the
whole time I was watching. So I was like, okay, maybe this guy gets this privilege to eat a fucking sandwich. He's just so fucking big in basketball.
No, I think
I'm not gonna be mad.
The back injury at the time.
Did he?
Yeah, but before he even went to college, they were already saying that he had the back injury.
I'm sure he was resting. Yeah,
it could be, but I don't know. But I was mad. I was like,
we were chanting. I used to go to all high school. Try to go to most of our high school boys games, and even a lot of the girls games too. But we were chanting we want Hale a couple games because we had a pretty rowdy student section at the time, and our team we had a pretty good damn basketball team. We we had this one guy named Phil Pepple.
Mm-hmm.
Shout out Philip. He I know exactly where he's playing at now. I know he went to play some college ball. 6'9" dude, dunking on everybody.
Overseas, you think?
Yeah, probably overseas he's playing. One played. I know he was at Idaho for a little bit, and a couple other small colleges. But he was a big dude. I know you guys at Ingram had. I don't know if you guys know who Mitchell is. Mitchell Sexton. He went and played down at St. He just I think graduated from St. Mary's.
What year did he play?
He was a year young. He was.
If he was a year
younger, he was a year younger than me, or 2 years younger than me.
Okay, then I was already gone.
Yeah,
from Ingram.
He's like a 7-foot big man. He was a starter on a NCAA March Madness team this year.
Never met him.
And defensive player of the year for the conference, Gonzaga and St. Mary's. And really good player. Went to Ingram, but he was the only one that ever I saw give Philip a problem. But we wanted Hale because we wanted to see, Michael Porter Jr. playing against like our guys.
What was there was another player that had a pretty high prospect. It was like PJ Fuller or something.
PJ Fuller, yeah. PJ Fuller went and played at TCU and then at UW. Came back to UW. High flyer, could dunk the hell.
Where is he now?
No clue. I know that he had a all right year at UW a year or two ago.
Because I heard that he was a pretty high prospect when Michael was playing.
He was on the same team. They were stacked that Hale team, man. That Hale team was like, I mean, Brandon Roy's the coach. You had the Porter brothers.
Yeah.
And him, and that was, I don't know. Yeah, I don't think they won state that year, I believe. So
they did.
Yeah,
they did.
Yeah.
I remember all the Nathan Hill kids were bragging. I was like, "Yeah, well, you guys got
you're gonna suck again, right?
Yeah,
the next, like,
you guys got lucky with all those players transferring and stuff like that. Even having Brandon Roy as a head coach.
What happened to you remember that one really tall white dude, 7 foot,
Big Ben,
and then there was the light skinned guy, Jerome.
Oh, yeah, they were great.
Yeah, they were prospects. I just remember what happened to them.
Jerome, I forgot what Jerome. I don't think he made it that far afterwards. I don't know. I think we had some prospects in our team and varsity team.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where they went though, but
yeah. Okay. Sorry, I'm not really known to know that much in the basketball after high school era.
Yeah, I don't know either. Well.
But yeah, that's crazy. I thinking about that.
Yeah, I remember them being prospects, but I was no clue where they are.
That guy was tall as fuck.
Yeah, no, yeah. So they had the Jerome. I remember he was like a tall point guard. Like he was like a Dane.
No, but Big Ben.
He was like 7'1".
Tall, yeah,
and he was like a legit center. Like,
he was built like Shet.
Yeah, like he was good. Like yeah. I don't know. Wherever they are
Yeah.
now.
How would you deal with prospects?
Well, like a guy who could go to play college ball.
That you know has a potential.
Yeah.
Well, I haven't had to. Well, actually, that's a lie. There was. I was gonna say I haven't really dealt with somebody who's a big prospect for college, but at least football wise, yet. Lacrosse, we actually had a guy last year who went to play a small D1 school back east. Ami's really good. But you know, I didn't need to really help develop him that much because he was already just nasty. He already knew what he needed to do to get to the college level.
Yeah.
This right now, the head coach's son, Kai Sokolowski, he is got the potential to go play college ball somewhere.
D1.
Sure. Yeah, he's good.
What position does he play?
He can play anywhere if he really wanted to, but he's offensive midi. We do a lot of subs where offensive, defensive midfielders come on the field. So like guys that specialize in thing in the run of play, because he could sub on the fly like hockey. So he would normally come on as offensive midfielder. This year he got injured like first practice, so we only get to play like the last two games. That was the player you're talking about. Yeah.
You lost a star.
Yeah, we lost. I thought we had like two main offensive guys.
But you said after that they did pretty good.
We did pretty good for we handling the situation without pretty much he's like our point guard.
Actually, this is perfect. Transitioning to this new question, how would you deal with like a high prospect player getting injured, and then having to work with the other guys?
Well, I mean, this year we just kind of like told guys, hey, I mean, we know what Kai can do. We know that it's gonna suck without him, but we got to figure out ways to win games without him. Okay, we can't just rely. And actually, we were talking about as coaching staff how it kind of helped our program because now you got guys next year who kind of can. The seniors, we had a good senior class. There was other guys that had to step up that weren't seniors to replace those goals and those type of things that Kai can do. Now, I'm not saying we could fully replace everything that Kai produced, but we...
Well, Kai will be his own special player.
But you still got guys that developed this year who gotten better and got play time and learned how to step up and not have to just give the ball a Kai.
How would you develop these student athletes to become a prospect?
I mean, it takes to become a college prospect.
Yeah.
You know,
I know it takes time, but like
it takes. We tell them it takes time, but
as a coach, how would you push that, and how would you like mentor these kids, and push them to like that limit?
To be the limit. First they got the right mentality, right? You gotta make sure to have these conversations with them. The mentality, like, listen, man, you got the potential to go if you want to go, but it's gonna take a lot of hard work, and it's gonna take, dedication to craft. It can't just be coming to practice is the only time you practice. Like, you got to go home and lift. You got to go work out. You got to go shoot on your own. You got to go do footwork. Do all.
Basically, like off practice, practice.
And then you also have the mentality part of it, where it's like you got to be able to be relied upon.
Yeah.
When we coach you hard, you got to be able to take it and not be like take it personally. Like, it's like we were talking about earlier. Like, you got to be coachable. In all senses,
can't take it personal.
Yeah, when a coach yells at you, you can't get pissed off because at the coach and take your mind out of the game. You got to be okay. I have to step up in this moment. And
coach is asking me, I gotta do.
Yeah, I gotta step up. They need me.
Try
right
to do
now.
what's the best.
I gotta do what I gotta do. I gotta do what he's asking me to do, or step up and find a way to win. And the great players already know that, and you don't have to tell them that.
Yeah.
It's the guys that you're truly trying to develop that have to learn that.
What about the kids that the student athletes that know they know they're shit, they're bad, but they want to get better and they want to be something out of the sport? How would you develop them? But also in a stress level, they aren't that well. They can't really take advice that well, but they want to become a better player.
So you're saying the guys that don't take advice well but want to be a better player?
Yeah. How would you handle that situation?
Uncoachable people?
Yeah.
That's tough to be in as a coach, right?
Yeah.
A guy that doesn't want to be coached but wants to be great. I mean, that's a headache.
It is. No,
I've been blessed so far though, where I don't have. All my guys are good, and they want to.
No, because I definitely know kids that have that mindset, I want to be the best. I want to be like Kobe. I want to be like this.
Yeah.
But when it comes to hey, you gotta do that better and stuff like that, you're like, I don't need to take that from you. I do this. I do that.
They
better.
literally go nowhere. They're untouchable.
You have to say you probably won't make it if you don't want. Unless you can learn how to be coachable.
Hey, to all those young student athletes, listen in,
you got to be coachable.
Yeah, you got to be coachable. You can't be egotistic and I'm the best. You may be the best, but
you hear college coaches tell you they'll say on interviews and whatnot, they'll be like, is the guy coachable? We want to know if the guy can develop. Is he a good person? Is he coachable? Does he respect other people trying to help him get to where he needs to be? Because if you don't, then why would they waste a scholarship? Why would they waste a spot on their roster for a guy that doesn't want to listen to anybody? Right? And so,
but that's the thing though. I feel like nowadays I even see coaches picking those kids up though, that non-coachable kids, because they're actually. They're like this it's kind of weird. They're actually so good, talented wise, but they're not coachable. But they still want that player. That makes sense.
I would rather have a guy who
has the potential
to get better and wants to learn than a guy that's already good and doesn't want anything to do with me. I'd way rather have that guy, who's starting out. This is let's say it's his first year versus the guy that's been playing his entire life. But the guy who's playing his entire life doesn't want any part of any of the coaching staff. He doesn't want to listen to anybody. He's just out there for himself. And I'd way rather have the guy who wants to learn and is asking questions, and when you go over and tell something, they apply it to their game as fast as they possibly can.
Yeah, for sure.
And to answer your question on what would I do in that situation if a guy doesn't want to be coached? I mean, then not much.
Would you tell that
I would try to
straight up hey if you're not gonna be willing to be coachable, you're not gonna get far.
I mean, I've said it to guys, and you normally it's normally they're being teenagers. They're just
that's fair.
I
mean, I'm not gonna lie. Teenagers in general just have the ego.
Yeah, they think they know. You think? I mean, I thought I knew for a while there. I thought I knew everything, and then and now I'm like, I still have a lot to learn about life, right? But like, you think you're invincible when you're a teenager, right? You think you can do anything.
You always want to be better than the next person.
Yeah.
You're unbeatable.
Yeah, and so I mean, it's tough dealing with those situations, but I've like I said, I got a good group of guys, and they just being able to put your arm around them and be like, hey man, listen, if you want to be great, you got to be coachable.
Yeah,
you gotta be able to listen, even though you aren't, you don't think we know what we're talking about. I trust me, if you just do what we tell you to do, you'll put yourself in a better position. And so
what have the student athletes done to make you a better coach for them?
First off, like, them coming up to me and just wanting to talk to me every day, it makes me want to show up every day and be my best. I
like that though. Yeah. That like they're willing to be open to you and make a connection with you, and you're just willing to be there.
Yeah, they'll come bust my balls about something, right? Like what I'm wearing that day.
Hold up. Hold up.
That's normal saying. No pause needed.
It is.
But they like come give me shit about like whatever and or how I'm walking or something like they always make fun of how I walk just because I like apparently I walk like nonchalant and they're like you like act like I don't care. I'm like, dude, that's just the way I walk.
Yeah.
But like them doing that type of stuff, I'm just gonna give it right back and give them crap about whatnot. And if they do that, then that means that we got a good relationship. Like they can give me they can give me shit, and I can give you shit. We're good. We're good, comfortable with me. Then I can come talk to you about what needs to be done.
Yeah.
Another thing that they do is like just when they show willingness to like be better, when they show that they care. Yeah. Like if I'm in a game and a guy gets really pissed off because we're losing or something, I'm gonna tell him to like not show it to his teammates that much, but like it makes me happy because then I know that you care, right? Yeah. And that makes me want to care more too, because I get paid but not much. I'm not there for the pay. I'm here to try to, because I love the sport and I love to be competitive and try to help these guys get better. So it makes me want to show up. Yeah, exactly.
Okay, I have a question too. How do you do it like? Because I've seen this a lot too when I was playing. How do you do with like kids that have overbearing parents, where you try to teach them something, they're like, "Oh, but my dad told me I should do this," or even during games, like, "Hey, you can't talk to my kid like that." I see that so often.
I see that so much.
Oh
yeah.
Ref,
he hit my kid.
What are you doing? You didn't see that?
Yeah. I'd say you don't see it nearly as much, I think, at the high school level as you do at like when you're a youth coach on that, which is different. But as a high school coach, if you do, you probably just the head coach will go have a conversation or send an email to the parent, try to ask him politely, like, hey, I understand that you're just your kid and you want to see them do, great and be the best they possibly can be, but we know what we're doing here. Let us do our jobs.
Trying to set up the system.
Yeah. You can give them input on the side, but like make sure to really, you're not like overstepping and like taking away what we're doing here and telling them the opposite thing.
Actually, have you ever talked to a parent yourself?
If I had to go talk to a parent and tell them to like,
he had to smile like he did.
No.
Okay, but have you?
No.
But okay.
There's been times where I've thought about it, but then an older coach will go take care of it.
What about performance issues? Have you ever talked to a parent?
Like, what do you mean?
Like student athlete performers.
Like he's not getting effort, showing up late and whatnot.
No, but again, I think that comes with the territory of being a head coach versus being an assistant coach.
Because
that's more of a head coach's job.
I feel like I see a lot of coaches too. They like to take charge of like the student athletes' grades too.
Yeah.
Making sure like they have the right grades, and sometimes I see some of the coach, not just the teachers, but the coach too, like reaching out to the parents, like, hey, like we really want this kid to play, but like he can't play if he doesn't have his grade.
Well, there's a grade system, right? If you have an F, you can't play, right? And so that sucks when a guy can't play that you need because he's not doing what he's needed in school. So yeah, we have to kind of put our voice in there.
Have you ever told the kid to get the grade up?
Oh yeah, I mean I'll be like, I hear them talking to their buddies and be like, oh yeah, I got 2 Fs right now. I'm like, why do you have 2 Fs right now? What classes are these? are you not doing your work here, man? Just like all you gotta do is the bare minimum. You gotta just
now
get
now I have a question about your own personal high school. Did you have any bad grades as a student athlete?
I didn't have bad grades. I didn't have great grades.
Like a C.
Yes.
Okay, that's perfectly normal then.
That I always did enough to be able to stay on the field and be available for all that.
Did you have to do that like? Oh, the teacher needs to sign off your grades or something?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. There was times where it would drop down, and then the coach would be like, get that up. And he'd only have to tell me one time. And I go on and ask the teacher, what do I need to do? Get my grade up. I'm good to go. I never let it affect. I never missed a game because of grades. And I knew a bunch of my buddies who did. And, like, that's... And, you know, when you're on a team and you know somebody's important and you know they're out because of grades.
Does that piss you off?
It pisses me the fuck off, right? And so, like...
now
it makes me not want to do it. Yeah,
you're like, you're being selfish.
I just forgot.
Yeah, we had
I worked my ass off for my homework. We
had a lot of guys that were like that though. And so yeah, it gets annoying. But
wait, is there team captains in football? High school football?
Oh yeah.
Like how many? Usually?
So my senior year, we didn't really have a set. We didn't have like set captains. We kind of like
whoever just voices out.
Yeah, we had a decent amount of leadership between the the seniors. Nobody was the captain. We had some guys use their voice at some points at a time, and some guys use their voice at other times.
Yeah.
But I think actually that was kind of a thing we lacked was a good leader. I wasn't. At the time, I didn't have the voice I have now, like as a coach. If I had, it comes to maturity and being able to get up and talk in front of a bunch of people. I still have trouble getting out and talking in front of a bunch of people. When
I do too. To be quite honest.
I mean,
I don't even know how I'm doing this.
Yeah. Well, this is different because you don't have people
there's
staring.
So many people here. Yeah, I don't have an
except
audience.
Thomas over here, but yeah.
By the way, Thomas just behind the camera. That's the only person that's watching.
But when you got 15 to 20 sets of eyes just staring at you, or football for 40, right? Or it's like that's a. That's tough to... Yeah, what am I supposed to say in that moment, right? When you call a timeout, okay, why did I call a timeout? What do I have to say? All right, all these guys are looking at me to lead them and point me right.
Too.
It's tough. So, the lacrosse coaches, we always talk about, man, I just start going and, you don't know what to, fully say all the time. But you have to... If you have a message you want to get through, you hit the point. And that's my whole thing is, okay... Why did whenever I call a timeout for a JV, if I'm the head coach for a JV game or something, right? Or why did as soon as I call a timeout, I'm thinking, okay,
what do I need to say?
What am I gonna try to get to the point across right now? What do they need to do?
Well, the things that you gotta think about, you gotta grab these the athlete's attention, and we gotta say to them.
Well, I mean, there's strategic timeouts where you're calling a timeout because
time clock or something.
Time clock or plays.
Yeah,
or you want to call a play or tell them about something that's happening in the game. Other times you're calling a timeout because you can just see the mentality of the guys is not right, and you need to reset that. Those are the toughest ones because if it's just strategic, they're doing this, so we got to counter with this. That's different. And easier to talk about.
But when morality is down,
you gotta give them motivation.
Yeah, when they're just look like they don't want to be there and they're sluggish, then it's okay, what do I have to say to get these guys so they're?
Do you ever have to call out a specific?
Oh yeah,
player. Or do you be just a group?
Oh yeah, that's part of the what we were talking about earlier, developing a guy that
be hey Johnson, you're doing great, but there's this things that you gotta be.
Well, yeah, or you could see a guy, I'm why are you looking demoralized? Why is your head down right now? Right, you're a leader of this team. There's no reason why you shouldn't be. You should be down on yourself, right? Yeah, they're focusing on you. They know that you are the threat. Okay, so then cause everybody else to be a threat because you're not a threat, right? Don't just take yourself out of the game because you can't score all the goals, right? Create for others. Use yourself as a distraction. Do something to make your team win because that's the end goal. Should be every game you come in, no matter what happens, win, right? If that means you score 4 goals, great. If that means you have a terrible game, but this team still wins because you did the dirty work, then good. It's just
off topic though. So there's this time where I had to read this thing in front of my girlfriend's family. It was a religious path, and I was stuttering my words. And they're they like kind of roasted me. Like, how are you doing a podcast? You can't fucking read a passage. I was like, it's different. All you guys are staring at me, one,
hanging on every word,
and then you guys are recording me doing it too.
Oh yeah, no,
I would not be happy about doing that. But did you have at least like a piece of paper?
Yeah, but he's still
staring at the paper.
I was starting on some of the words. I
feel like that's a natural thing, though. I feel like I don't know why, but like as humans, we all struggle.
But just like now, I don't feel like I'm stuttering at all.
No, but
just brain farts. But
but it's not the same as like if we had 30 people here watching us right now. I'd be like,
live would go different.
I feel like if I had that same amount of people in this room right now, I feel like I'll be stuttering a little bit.
Oh yeah. I would 100% be not as willing to talk as much as I have been talking. Right, like it's just like.
That's kind of how it started. Now I'm like. I think it's because of also in the military, but now I'm more like it'll motivate me. If I had like a big crowd right there, it kind of motivate me to be energetic to give them a show, you know.
Yeah, that's true. That's fair. I don't think I had that in me. I'm trying to build up that moment, you know. Going back to a motivational speech, give us one of your best speeches.
I'm not gonna give you a speech. I'll tell you that. I'm actually not great at speeches unless it's like
let's say I'm like one of the student athletes. I'm down. What would you say to me?
Well, it like depends on like what you down. What are you down
about?
Like
I couldn't. I couldn't make this catch.
Okay, I'm not gonna give you like the speech. I'll tell you what I would like the areas I'd hit. If let's say you're hanging your head because you dropped like 3 balls in a row, right, or something, right, and you're like, I just can't make, like, clearly just demoralized, right? I would first off, I probably actually wouldn't do it in front of the whole team unless we were in the middle of a timeout. I might point and say like, dude, you're great. Stop. Don't hang your head. You know what you can do.
Yeah.
You know what you can do. There's no reason why you should be upset right now, all right? Get it out of your head, move on to the next one.
You just motivated me, bro.
Right?
You just motivated me.
I mean, there's no reason. Yeah, there's no
go catch the ball.
Yeah, I'm ready now. Coach.
Go out there and then the next play I might just call it so he has a chance to go catch one right away, right? The other thing, I said I might pull him to the side, right? I might pull him to the side and just be like, there's our goalie for the lacrosse team. He gets in his own head. And all the time, he lets a goal or 2 in, or 3. He has a bad stretch, and then all of a sudden he's like, feels like he's letting the team down because there's only one goal in the field. It's a tough position to play, right? Guys are shooting as hard as they can at you from point blank distances. You're not going to make every save. And sometimes you'd be like you could see so much emotion in his face. I'd be like, I just put my arm around him during timeout. I pull him to the side, away from the team, and I just ask him like, "What time did you wake up today, man?" And he'd be like, "What?" I'm like, "What time did you wake up?" He's like, 9. What'd you do? He's like in running start, so he's not going to school. High school, he's just going like take college classes. Like, I did homework for like 3-4 hours. I'm like, 4 hours straight? He goes, yeah. Like just talking about anything other than the sport, getting out of the mindset, getting them to be just like themselves, and then I'll be like, at the end of it, just be like, man, you're great. Don't worry about anything else. Just go be a you and play, right? And nobody did a reset of a mindset.
See, that's the thing. But that's the thing. I don't think a lot of coaches are like that. They just expect you to play the game.
Yeah, I think
So that's the thing. I think a lot of coaches, they like to just be like, tell you all your wrongs, but like also not try to like help you clear your mind and ease you towards the.
You gotta have a balance of a good cop, bad cop, right? You can't be too coddly and like nice and just,
which is understandable.
But you also can't be too aggressive and straight just win. It's got to be a little bit of fun and taking care of these guys.
Well, the best one's like, get your head back up. Get your head back up.
Yeah,
get your head back up in the game. You better like shoot that ball. That ball.
Yeah. I mean, what the thing is like you see it as
or there's also these coaches that be like, they don't say anything, but like just let the game play in a way. Does that make sense? They're not really coaching. They're like, here, run this play, do this play. All right, game. Good job, guys.
They don't have that emotional part of it. Yeah.
They're connection. Like, run this to the ball, to the paint, call it good. Okay, game. Let's run it. Absolutely. And then we run it. And you're like, all right, guys, good work.
Yeah. You want to have a balance, though, right? Yeah. You can't be too over emotional, but you also can't be too non-emotional, right? So you have to.
Well, like you said, like. The coaches kind of give the power to the game to the young athletes too. When using that voice and that that strength and motivation will empower the athletes to do better themselves and to actually try in the game.
Yeah.
When you be like, yeah, guys, just run this play, good work, do it, let's see it, and then I don't feel that motivated.
It's all your own.
Yeah, I just feel like, okay, yeah, I'll just run this play, see what happens. But like, I feel like when a coach like, hey, yeah, you guys are doing great. Yep. Let's make sure that we do this. Take it to the paint and someone rebound it, whatever. I feel like, okay, let's do this.
That's why I personally prefer a coach that's loud.
Yeah, because like it's a leadership type of thing. You want someone to lead you to the game.
You want someone to lead you. You also want someone that shows that they care too.
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Like you don't want just it to be, like the players only caring. You want them because if the coach shows that he cares, all right. Oh.
We should care too.
Yeah, we should care too.
Yeah, it makes everybody. The parents will care. The refs will care.
Now, there's a limit to that, right? You don't want to be the coach that's yelling, kicking, screaming on the sideline too much. You don't want to look like just a crazy person on the sideline.
You don't want to get put on TikTok.
What's his name? Mike Malone.
Yeah. Well, Mike
Malone.
I don't know if you've seen Last Chance U. Have you guys seen Last Chance U, the football?
No.
Oh, okay. There's a coach on there. Actually, there's a couple coaches who are just like super hotheads. And that kind of comes with the territory of football because you have so much to worry about, and like the refs, what your guys are doing, and stupid mistakes and all that. And it's different in college because those guys are like.
I feel like college is a bit different though. The pressure is like.
The pressure's way higher.
Yeah,
way higher.
because the school is expecting you to perform well, and then the players have like high expectations.
Versus like high school. It's like you're just trying to have a decent program with who's having a good time. Everybody's having a good time. And
college is more like it takes it up to a professional level.
Yeah, you're expected
and then to the real professional level.
Yeah.
How would you get into? Would you ever get into like
college?
No, like main coaching, like
main coaching.
Yeah, like a head coach.
Yeah. Have you ever thought even going further, like college or?
Yeah, I mean, of course, it crossed my mind and whatnot. I'm still at a point in my life right now where I don't really know if I exactly want to go down that path.
Well, the thing is that I feel like what you're telling us and telling the viewers, I feel like you'll be a great coach.
Yeah, to be honest.
Yeah,
I mean, obviously, there's things that you could work on, improve on for yourself.
It wouldn't be soon. I'll put it that way. Right? It would have to be down the line here. I don't know enough about X and O's of either lacrosse or football. I know a decent amount, but I don't know enough to like lead a team into a game.
I feel like also that takes within like time and learning.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I want to be an assistant coach for a couple more years here.
Some seasons.
Learn things from older coaches, pick up things. Develop myself as.
How would you get into a head coaching position? Do you need like a degree? Like,
I think that's what I was. I don't think you need a degree. I think you just like
need the experience.
Need the experience, right? And like
the record,
some good recommendations and records, right? And just so that people aren't like, who's this nobody? Trying to coach this program. Other thing is, if you are like a PE teacher, like our coaches at school, right? You're in the school district and they're looking for a football coach. And you're like, oh, I was assistant coach for, let's say I coached in there for another 5 or 6 years, right? I'm like, oh, I was assistant coach for 7 years over at this high school. I can come help out or not. And then all of a sudden that turns into a head
That's
coach.
so funny that you say PE teachers. I just realized that a lot of the PE teachers are the football coaches.
Yeah. Oh yeah, because you get like
even for Ingram, it was a PE teacher. Roosevelt was a PE teacher.
Yeah, it's always PE teacher.
Sherlock was literally our.
I mean, it transfers.
Sherlock's great, by the way. He's
awesome. What class did we take, Thomas?
It was just weightlifting.
Yeah, weightlifting teacher, and then he was the football coach.
Yeah,
transfers easily.
Yeah, he.
What if the PE teacher doesn't know anything about football?
Well, then that's when you just have to look outside of.
What if there's nobody that knows about football?
Yeah. Well, I think we've seen schools like that. I mean, I don't know if you have, but I've seen schools like that where the coach don't know nothing.
I think majority.
It's tough. I mean, sometimes schools get put in those positions where it's like they don't really have a good option.
Yeah,
and so they just go with somebody that's So like there might be a time.
I feel like they would choose like
they have hiring process.
Parents or something.
No, they have hiring processes where like they're like I'll put ads out looking for a head football coach. And people will know people and call and ask if you.
Well, the thing is that I feel like Seattle public school is a little bit more established, right, for football. coaches?
Program?
I'd say program?
I don't know. I think
Roosevelt
Roosevelt lost a good one with Sherlock. I know that the record wasn't great. I know that they got a better team now than they did, but I know that that kind of just comes with the name of the coach and all that, and like who the talent they're bringing in, which is cool. Good for you guys. Be a way to get your program back to being unwinning ways. But
how would you actually wait?
But like curious. Sherlock is such a good guy. I want to get at this point across. Sherlock is a great guy, and I could see why like his players love playing for him. Even if you weren't very winning games, he's a good person. Yeah. And
my favorite moment with Sherlock. Off topic again was him and Idris were tackling each other or wrestling each other.
Yeah, I remember
that was a pretty funny one.
I remember Idris was even bleeding a little bit
because I think Idris was like was Idris getting like a little egotistic?
A little bit, yeah.
Well, yeah. Yeah, and he's great, but it just coaches nowadays. I think it's kind of tough to find football coaches that have a good experience.
I love Shaw. He was a good dude.
Yeah.
Funny how three of us know. I don't know if you know.
No clue.
No, Desmond knows Sherlock. No, he doesn't.
I didn't know him until this year because he is coming helping out Shortcrest now for football. Been a big help over there. So yeah.
All right.
I think there's this is great. I think we should leave it off here. I appreciate Sammy coming in.
Yeah, absolutely, man.
For doing this podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me, guys. Appreciate it.
Stay tuned to our podcast. We got many coming in. We got many guests coming in. The next guest we got is the car detailer. Mm-hmm. And then the next guest after that, an entrepreneur into landscaping, which is Thomas's dad here.
Oh, yeah.
What, you guys having Carlos on?
No, not Carlos. We have Eric. Do you know Eric?
I don't know Eric.
He used to work for Marquette, but he's the detailer for the for the cars. But Carlos is too shy to be on the podcast.
Gotcha. Okay, that's fair.
I'm calling him out right now. Yeah, Carlos, you're too shy to come on the podcast, but I think you'll do great. I think we'll have a great conversation. So, but also, yeah, please like and subscribe, comment, all that corny shit on YouTube. I just want to appreciate everyone coming in through, watching our stuff. Appreciate Desmond,
subscribers too.
Yep,
that's huge.
On
appreciate
50. Yep, that's a big goal of ours. Help us get us to 200. And stay tuned. Thank you. We're out.
See ya.
Peace.